honey, we need all hands on deck. All hands on deck. Do y'all hear me today? Today on the Criminal Villains, you are here with Gigi Medici, and we got something to tell y'all. Can we talk about Trump Rash? Have y'all been hearing about that Rash? Oh my God. Hold on. Where is the clip about that darn Rash? I can just go to look at Google Trump Rash. All right. A lot of people got a lot of stuff to say about this rash. A lot of people think it's, you know what? I don't know. But we're going to talk about it. We also going to talk about Trump had a phone call recently with Jake, and he's going to give us an update what's going on with the Iran war. If you guys do not know, we are a part of the war. We are in a war, you guys. We need all hands on deck. I have this girl right here. She talks about how her relatives is over there fighting, and they just got bombed. So she's feeling a certain way. We got a lot of our troops are going over there to fight. I've been hearing a lot of people in Dubai, they're stuck in hotels. Did you guys hear about that? So I wanted to bring this to your attention. So I need to bring that up here too while I'm talking to you guys. TikTok, stuck in Dubai attacks. People are stuck in Dubai. Yeah. So let's see some of these Dubai Americans are stuck in Dubai during this war. If you guys are here, please like this video. I also wanted, they need to send Shamar. Yeah, send his butt. Also wanted to talk about Jim Carrey. You guys know Jim Carrey, he did a facelift. I think it's a facelift. But a lot of people feel like, you know, it's not the real Jim Carrey. Girl, he has surgery. Y'all can't tell he has surgery. So I have the doctor that's going to speak out about his surgery because everybody making their own conspiracy, you know, just pushing stuff. All right, so it's so much stuff we want to talk about. These girls went viral for making fun of this, you know, the attacks. I think is just so silly and stupid, but we need to talk about it. Also, Janice Dickinson, she is attacking Tyra Banks. She said Tyra Banks is so mean and so rude on the show, and everybody's like, really, Janice? No, you were the most meanest. And it just feels like everybody is attacking Tyra. I'm Team Tyra. I put the link up if you guys want to come up and say anything about anything. So feel free to reach out and hit that link and come up there. So I'm glad that you guys can join me. Also, I wanted to talk about this story about Smoothie King. These girls said they refused some customers that was wearing, I guess they were Trump supporters, and she discriminated against them. So we want to hear her story out, and I want to know your thoughts about that. So it's so much to cover tonight. So I just want to hear.
Have you been in contact with the U.S. consulate? Any evacuation flights that you're hoping to get on board?
So I haven't been in contact. I've registered with the consulate and with the embassy in Abu Dhabi, of course. We're just looking. I've seen a few exits to London and maybe London to the US, but I haven't been able to get a direct flight from UAE to home.
What has it been like being there in the middle of this for the last 3 days?
It's been a journey. I would say like the first 48 hours was very, very tough. I feel like I haven't cried that much since I probably came out my mother's womb. But I would say we've kind of like settled into it. It's definitely slowed down on hearing like missiles and things like that. It's just a very out of body experience. And I just wouldn't.
So you heard this. So many people are stuck, but
Another beautiful day in Dubai. Your girl is alive. Yes! I'm actually walking to the gym. I haven't left the house in 3 days and I'm going crazy. So I'm going to the gym to work out.
Well, hell, it looked like it's getting better, huh? I'm just randomly clicking on this stuff. It looked like it's getting better.
Guys, I'm actually scared. I'm actually scared. I'm scared. And they're protecting Dubai by hitting the missiles. like mid-air.
I can't understand his accent. It's too damn strong for me. All right, so let's go here. Let's go to Jake and see what he has to say about Trump.
President Trump, it was a roughly 9-minute phone interview talking about the war in Iran. Just want to give you the quotes. He said, quote, "We're knocking the crap out of them. I think it's going very well. It's very powerful. We've got the greatest military in the world, and we're using it." I asked the president how long he thought this war might last. He said, "I don't want to see it go on too long. I always thought it would be 4 weeks, and we're a little ahead of schedule." I asked him if the U.S. was doing more to help the Iranian people reclaim their country than the military strikes, if there was other stuff going on. He said, "Yes, we are indeed, but right now we want everyone staying inside. It's not safe out there." He also suggested it was about to get even less safe.
Did you hear that? Trump said it's about to get less slave. Press 2 if you heard that. So, honey, when I tell you it's about to go down.
We haven't even started hitting them hard. The big wave hasn't even happened. The big one is coming soon. I asked the president about the fact that Iran attacked Arab countries in the region, Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, and the UAE. He said that was the biggest surprise so far for him and his team. Quote, "We were surprised. We told them," meaning the Arab countries, "we've got this." And now they want to fight, and they're aggressively fighting. They were going to be very...
So if you guys did not know, once Trump hit Iran, Iran responded with hitting so many other countries around them that had American base on their soil. So now all the countries around them want to fight, and they are fighting Iran. Okay. Now, Iran is split. It's a lot of people in Iran that is thankful that America and Trump got that man out of there, because they said that man hated LGBT people and he hated women, and he did nefarious things to his own people. So you see a lot of Iran people celebrating. So now all the countries around them, they are attacking. They said they want to fight. They said, "No, Trump, we got this. We want to fight too." So, honey, Iran is done for, baby. All the countries over there, they had it with that leader. He's dead now. They said 49 other leaders that was with that man that was running Iran, they dead too. Okay. Now I hear China and Russia and North Korea, they are irritated by this. But don't y'all try it, because we'll clock y'all asses too. Okay? So let's hear it.
Very little involved, and now they insist on being involved. He said of the Arab leaders of those countries, "I know these people, they're tough and smart." The Iranians, he said, quote, "shot into a hotel. They shot into an apartment house. It just made them," meaning the Arab leaders, "angry. They love us, but they were watching. There was no reason for them to be involved." That was probably the biggest surprise. You have to understand, they were living under that dark cloud for years, meaning the Iranian nuclear threat. That's why you could never have peace. I asked, okay, well, who's going to lead Iran now? The president said, "We don't know who the leadership is. We don't know who they'll pick. Maybe they'll get lucky and get someone who knows what they're doing." The Iranians, he said, lost a lot in terms of leadership, because in the initial strikes, not only was Ayatollah Khamenei killed, but also 49 other Iranian leaders, he said. It was an amazing strike. They got a little bit arrogant by meeting all in one place. They thought they were undetectable. They weren't undetectable. We were shocked by it. They don't even know who's leading them now. We went down 49, he said, meaning 49 leaders on the leadership chart.
They took out 49 leaders. And I want to know, are you guys interested in stuff like this? I know I am. I don't know if you guys are surprised that I'm interested in stuff like this. I just decided to do something different and just to talk about stuff that I'm interested in. Press 3 if you are interested in this as well. All right. Let me know how you guys feel about this type of news. So at first, I'll be honest, I did not like the idea of Trump, our president, bombing the people. And I'm sorry about the girls in the school. But then when I started to listen to the people in that country, and they're saying that we're thankful that Trump did this because he was an evil guy. And then hearing the rules and how he treated women and how he treated LGBT people, I said, well, shit, I'm thankful that Trump did that shit too. So I was like, I'm going to pull back. So, I have a mixed feeling about this, and I want to know your thoughts. Feel free to hit that link. We want to hear from you as well. All right, so I'm going to continue on.
There. We don't know who's leading the country now. They don't know who's leading. It's a little like the unemployment line. The president said that they tried to make a deal with the Iranians, but we couldn't make a deal with these people. He said every offer was met with a walkback of a previous offer. They had all that enriched stuff, he said, referring to uranium. They looked at redoing it there. This is after the strikes last June. But it was in such bad shape, the mountain had...
So retanium, that is the thing they needed to make the deadly nuclear, I believe, bombs, that is. They used to threaten different countries that they had this. So thank goodness that's all taken out. And hell, those type of leaders that are very strict and very religious, they're going to take out the whole world if you give them a chance to.
Basically collapsed. The president said, this is the way to deal with Iran. We don't have to worry about agreements. He talked about all of the years, decades of killing and IEDs and all the destruction that Iran has wreaked on the United States and other countries. He said people in the military walking around with no legs, walking around with no arms, their faces shattered. He said that today's military operation was of a piece, part of a larger campaign. We took out Soleimani last time. That's referring to the Iranian general, Qasem Soleimani. He was an unbelievably violent, vicious general. Hitting him, he said, was a big move. If that didn't happen, then you might not have Israel today. Israel might not exist. Then he referred to Midnight Hammer, the strike against the Iranian nuclear facilities last June. They were a month away from having a nuclear weapon. He criticized Obama's nuclear deal with Iran. He said it gave all the power to Iran. They would have had a nuclear weapon 3 or 4 years ago. They would have used it against Israel. They maybe would have used it against us. In the latest talks, he said the Iranians, quote, weren't willing to give us what we asked for. They should have done it. So it's going good, the president said before getting off the phone. I just got off the phone with President Trump.
All right, it's going good. What do you guys make of this? So let's shift our ways over here. And I want to hear about this young lady. Now, I think she's more, Democrat, but let's hear her out.
In Kuwait. And Whigs R Us decided they wanted to attack Iran last night, him and Israel, calling it preemptive strikes, trying to take out the Iranian missile systems, which they did not even fucking hit. What they did hit was Tehran and other cities in Iran on the midst of us having diplomatic conversations so we could all fucking get along. This is an Izzy type of situation. Izzy will try to say that they're having diplomatic conversations and then attack. So the United States took a play out of Izzy's book. And Iran said, you know what, bitch, it's on. Y'all didn't even hit none of our fucking missiles. And MAGA is trying to frame it as if Whigs R Us is trying to liberate the people of Iran. That's bullshit. We can't even get liberated here. Now, all military bases surrounding Iran are on high alert. That includes Qatar, Bahrain, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Kuwait. Now, according to U.S. officials, Iran has already launched missile strikes aimed at multiple U.S. military bases in the Gulf region as a part of its retaliation against the U.S.-Israel military strikes on Iran territory. The reported targets are Qatar, Kuwait, UAE, and the naval support activity in Bahrain. Let's hope this doesn't escalate, because I really want my brother to come home in April. My brother.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. So let me see here. Before we get into that, let me see here. I'm just going through some stuff.
So guys, I know what I'm about.
It's just too much shit, but I'm gonna say this shit. If you voted for that man, get your ass on the front line. All these MAGA white women, if you voted for that man, put your children in front. We don't need a fucking draft. Y'all need to get y'all asses up and go ahead and sign up to fight. And I think this needs to be a law. If you voted for the man that won the election, if he goes to war, your ass should be the first ones up there saying and swearing in. Y'all said he was going to be a no-war president. Bullshit. And don't try to switch sides now. And to that white woman that's sitting here crying, talking about leftists are giving her a hard time when she finally left the MAGA cult, bitch. And I do mean bitch.
You voted for that man 3 times and he was a racist. He was a sexist. He was a 40-something time felon before he got in office.
Get no fucking sympathy. I don't give a fuck if you do cross the fuck over. We're gonna haze the fuck out of you. Don't give us your white woman tears, these long ass fucking letters from other white women that are realizing they fucked up when they voted. You voted for your whiteness. You voted because you were white. You voted for that man because he was white. You voted for that man because how dare a black woman be a president before a white woman be a president? So I don't give a fuck if you sit up here and cry. Take your ass to the front line. You want us to accept you? Take your sons and your daughters to the front line. Because right now, Iran is not playing. They hitting every fucking thing. And it's your president's fault because, bitch, she's not mine.
Ooh.
Just too much.
Now, I agree with her. I think everybody that voted for Trump needs to go to the front of the line and need to take their kids to the front of the line. I do agree. Do y'all agree with her? Press 3. I think y'all need to fight this out. You know what I'm saying? I agree with her on that, honey.
My first time.
If you haven't filled up your gas tank, I suggest you do that shit now. Baby, Iran blew up Saudi Arabia's oil refinery. On top of the oil rig they took out the other day. Global oil prices are up $100 per barrel. And the global stock market has plummeted. Congratulations to Michael B. Jordan and the cast of Sinners. They cleaned up at the NAACP Awards and the SAG Awards. Michael B. Jordan better get that fucking Oscar. Baby, Barron Trump is trending. Send his ass to the front lines. Spain has said, you're not using U.S. bases over here to attack Iran. We don't want no fucking parts. Iran also took out the Israeli Air Force commander. Baby, they taking out everybody. And the Iranian officials said they're fighting Epstein criminals for unaliving and essaying children. Facts. Speaking of children, Israeli strike that stuck Iranian schools, that death toll is up to 148. But I don't hear prayers for them. Y'all see the new trailer for Scary Movie? Millennial in me will be in the movie theaters. There were 2 mass shootings this weekend, one in Austin, which the FBI and the CIA are investigating, trying to say he was a terrorist because of his religion. We will not be distracted by that. And Zendaya and Tom Holland got married, y'all. Bruce spilt the tea. I need to see.
And thanks to Law.
Chat.
Now
I felt like it too.
Trying to figure out if I'm.
No wonder. Breaking news.
So a new rash has appeared on Donald Trump's neck. This is a photo taken by Saul Loeb earlier today when Donald Trump was talking about Iran in the White House. And that's looking pretty nasty. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I'm thinking this is like shingles or eczema or something like that. But if there are any dermatologists or doctors who can chime in, let me know in the comments what this might be. But this is in addition to all of the other medical problems that Donald Trump is still suffering from. He is still covering up his bruised hand with makeup every single day. The bruise that the White House has been incredibly secretive of. And they said it was because he's shaking so many hands. I wonder if this new rash is because Donald Trump was shaking hands. And then, of course, the mental decline, the swollen ankles, and more. There's a lot.
Oh, my God. Is he dying? Press 1 if Donald Trump, is he leaving this earth? Is he going home? You know, that's a lot. Oh, my God. His neck and his hands. Whoa. What is that, y'all?
A lot going on with Donald Trump, but this is not good. Not good at all. So
There are real legitimate reasons the United States might go to war with Iran. Iran funds terrorist organizations that have killed Americans. Iran attacks U.S. military bases through proxies dozens of times. Iran has plotted to assassinate American officials on U.S. soil. And their nuclear program, if it reached weapons grade.
Well, we already going to war. Iran said that they about to do something to America that was going to make us know it.
I wasn't replaced. I just went through a botched plastic surgery. After Catriona died, I was consumed by guilt. Her family believed I had caused her death. And deep down, I believed it too.
All right. Well, that's AI, but we can get to him. So let's go here.
Jim Carrey is going viral for not looking like Jim Carrey anymore.
I really took on a pretty big challenge trying to do my speech in French.
So recently, Jim Carrey attended the Caesar Awards in Paris, but people are saying that it doesn't look like him and it doesn't even sound like him. Even super fans believe that it's not him. But what really convinced people was when makeup artist Alexis Stone posted a few photos claiming that he impersonated him at the awards. And everyone believed it, but the Caesar Awards shut that down fast, saying that he worked on his speech in French for months and came with his family. Even his long-term publicist confirmed that he personally attended and accepted the award. People age, celebs, including men, get cosmetics done, but despite all the confirmation, people still aren't convinced that this is Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is going viral for not looking like Jim Carrey.
They said the same thing about me. They said I was a clone. Honey, these people will lie. I want to see what the doctor got to say.
What happened to Jim Carrey's face? Did he have a bunch of plastic surgery? Is this not Jim Carrey, but makeup artist Alexis Stone? Or is it something more sinister? Let's get to the bottom of it. Yesterday, I reported on this video of Jim Carrey showing that he looks quite a bit different after a recent award show in Paris. And people are speculating that maybe he had a bunch of plastic surgery, maybe he was replaced by an imposter Jim Carrey, and now a makeup artist is claiming that it's him, not Jim. On his Instagram page, the famous and brilliant makeup artist Alexis Stone is claiming that he is Jim Carrey in Paris. And he released this photo, which looks oddly AI generated, showing proof that it's him, showing the Eiffel Tower in the background. And this is blowing the minds of a lot of people, including celebrities like
How, when they don't even see him, it baffles me how easy people believe bullshit. Like they just believe whatever. Whew. The mind is so weak to so many people.
Like Megan Fox and JWoww. So is Jim Carrey teaming up with Alexis Stone to fool everybody? Well, Alexis is a brilliant makeup artist. You can see by this version of Jack.
Now, is that a man or a woman? Is that a man or a woman? I don't know.
Nicholson, and this version of Glenn Close, that the makeup artistry is quite impressive, but they don't look exactly like these celebrities. And this is actual footage of Jim Carrey from the French awards show. And if you take a look at his face, he does look different than the Jim Carrey we're used to, but not as extreme as the photo and the video that I just showed you as well. This does look like Jim Carrey, and it does not look like somebody wearing a bunch of makeup to look like Jim Carrey. And here's Jim Carrey from about a year ago, looking basically the same as he does in Paris, except in Paris, he was holding his eyebrows up a bit more, or they were higher. So in my opinion, it does appear that Alexis Stone is trying to pull one on us, saying that this is not the real Jim Carrey, and it's Alexis Stone. This photo of Jim Carrey being shared online, including in my last video, does appear to most likely be either doctored or created by AI. Now,
all right, so
on this video that I shared yesterday, you can see that there is obviously a filter on it, causing him to look like he doesn't have that many wrinkles. So I stand by my earlier statement that I believe this is the real Jim Carrey, but he has had some plastic surgery. You can check out my last video on what plastic surgery I think.
Yeah, it's plastic surgery with a fucking filter because you don't see no pores. That's a filter. All right, they'll get you with these filters, honey, won't they? Don't I know it? Don't I know it? All right, so what else do we have here? I want you guys to check this out.
And we did work, do this shit again. Iran, we ain't.
Why do it always have to be our black motherfuckers? Okay, doing some ignorant shit. So these girls supposed to be focused, and they over here bopping and jamming about going to war and making a diss track about Iran. And it's not a hate for all of Iran. It's just that leader, and he's dead now. So America and Trump does not hate Iran. You know, so this is just so ignorant. Parents, do better. Teach y'all kids better. All right, so let's get to this story.
Hi guys, it's Janai and Michelle. I'm just gonna explain what happened yesterday at Smoothie King Ann Arbor. So basically, it was really busy the whole day. It was just me and my other coworker, and And basically, this couple comes in the midst of it being like super busy, so we cannot attend to them right away. We're just like, hello, we'll be with you in a moment. And they're just giving us really weird looks. And so, like, we're kind of looking at them back, like, what's going on? And that's when we realize they're wearing Trump merch. And that's when my coworker says to me, like, that, like, this is making me uncomfortable. Like, this is weird. Like, because mind you, it was really the day right after Black History Month. And that's when Torta asked us if there was an issue. And that's when my coworker said, like, yeah, we're uncomfortable because of your sweater, of your husband's sweater. And she was taking an order on the headset for the drive-through. And then so that's why I was doing most of the talking, because, you know, she was attending to the customer. So that's what, like, yeah, like we are uncomfortable. And then that's when he immediately gets loud. As you can see, guys, in my video. Hi guys, it's Janai Michelle.
Girl, you gotta work on talking shit.
Has a Trump service on.
Okay,
so
you said you were gonna leave, so please just have a great day and leave so we can continue what we're doing. Like,
we were just wanting a smoothie, and you literally looked at us, and I asked you if everything was okay. You said we don't feel comfortable serving you because of my husband's hoodie. Yes. That is discrimination.
Okay, well, have a great day. Like,
that is illegal.
That's illegal.
I said Trump discriminates us. That has nothing to do with us wanting a smoothie.
Okay, but that's who you support. That's who you love.
You don't, but you don't own this. You don't own Smoothie King. Literally. Like, I'm confused. Is this a joke?
Good luck maintaining your employment.
I don't care. Like, have a great day.
When your company is charged, yeah, you will.
So literally, Jake's wearing his hoodie. They would not serve us because Jake's wearing a Trump hoodie. Talking about this.
Right? Which is discrimination.
Yeah, we're at Smoothie King, and they're discriminating and saying we cannot get served. It is embarrassing. No, what's embarrassing is that we're American citizens, and I wanted to get a smoothie.
Because my manager said she said the same thing to you. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying to you. Okay?
But then, hey, you know that's a crime, right?
It's not.
Discrimination.
We
is a
have
crime.
the right to refuse service here, and that's what we
Not
did.
due to political views, though. Not due to political
You
views.
asked her what was wrong, and she said that she was uncomfortable,
it's a
right or
crime.
wrong. You asked the question, she answered. Have a great day. Have a great day. The door is right there. Have a great day.
How embarrassing.
Have a great day. Call the police. Okay?
Wow.
Discrimination.
Yeah, I am going to call the police.
That's a
It is embarrassing.
All right. So Smoothie King says location in Michigan. Yesterday, the owner has taken action, and then 2 employees are no longer with the business, so they got fired. Both of the owners incorporate have reached out to the guests several times to apologize and will continue to follow. The local owner is also taking further action, enforcing mandatory restraining for all employees that outline our guest experience standard. Well, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think? Do you agree with the black girl or you disagree with the black girl? Press 1 if you agree with the black girl. Press 2 if you disagree with the black girl. For me, I disagree. I feel like I know Trump don't like me or whatever, and if I'm working at a job, I'm representing that goddamn company. Shit. So I would just serve their ass, just as me. I don't like drama or conflict. So, but how do y'all feel about it? Comment, let me know. How do you guys feel about it? Let's get these likes up. But a lot of people in the comment section, it seems like they're agreeing with her. They say you'll find another job. So, they agree with her. I don't agree with her though, but that's just me, So going here, Janice, she says Tyra Banks, she was a hardcore bitch. She tortured the contestants for her ego and went harder for black girls just for competitiveness and jealousy. So Janice says that Tyra Banks, she did it on purpose and she target black girls. What do you guys think of that? I think that somebody behind the scene has a hate for Tyra and they are coming for Tyra and they have paid everybody else. I think they blackmail everybody else to come for Tyra. All right, that's what I think. That's what I think. I think it's sad, but yeah, they coming for Tyra. I don't buy all that, Janice. You know, I'm going to stand with Tyra. But what do you guys think? I just want to share that with you guys. So a lot of people are not buying Janice bullshit. They're just like, whatever, Janice, like you're very mean and you're known for being mean. So a lot of people are not buying it, but that's what she did. You know, she said Tyra even had a more hatred towards the black girls. All right. So let me see what else. Am I missing anything else? Did I cover everything? You know? Ooh-wee. So let me go down.
Democrats. We have some major news right now.
I just got off the phone.
We have some major news right now. Donald Trump is not ruling out putting boots on the ground in Iran this morning as he tells Jake Tapper, quote, the big wave is yet to come. Clearly, things are escalating, not de-escalating in the region. Trump spoke with the New York Post this morning, not ruling out putting boots on the ground if necessary, saying that the operation was, quote, way ahead of schedule and proceeding.
I just got off.
Ambassador, can you just stick with?
I just got off the phone with President Trump. It was a roughly 9-minute phone interview.
Are we close to war?
So we have some breaking news in our.
Baby, I know Jake Tapper wants to scream.
But right now, I really don't like.
Let's see what she got to say. Usually she does good stuff.
And you've got people who voted for Donald Trump 3 times who are now being affected by this Trump regime, that are now waking up from this haze, this trance that they have been in. And they are devastated, and equally upset because the left will not welcome them with open arms. Check this out.
You know, I thought it would be easier the more I talked about leaving MAGA, being a 3-time Trump voter. But I have to be completely honest with you that it's not getting easier. And it actually feels like it's getting more difficult because I'm gaining more empathy. And I don't think people really realize how counterintuitive the hate that I receive when you can take one look at my page and see that I am doing the work. I read a comment this morning that I'm not stitching because I don't want hate to come our way. But you'll understand why I'm reading it. I've been deconstructing from Christianity and left MAGA. I do not speak about it because the hate you receive from the left is no different from the hate you received when you were in the cult. I'm just minding my own business and rewiring my whole belief system. What people don't understand is how hard it is to actually wake up and realize your entire life has been a lie, and now you have to start over from scratch. I'm not going to allow any negativity from anyone into my life. It's hard enough to do this. I can't see. I had to stop and gather myself. Not only that, I'm not going to be a part of any political party or religion ever again. So the expectation of the left thinking we have to vote blue now in order to make amends or something is not something I want to be a part of. The amount of "I'll never forgive you" I see in your last video is enough for me to never try to speak up on anything that's happened to get me here. My entire family is deep Southern conservative Christian Republicans. It's been buried into my whole system since birth. Seeing my truth and removing myself from it has been the hardest thing I've ever done. I don't really know what else to say other than, like, I don't think that this is what the left wants. You've been shouting for people to wake up for years, and people do. And you just went a hard punt, and I get it. But it didn't happen soon enough. And I don't believe that. I can't believe that. I have too much hope in my soul to roll over and die. I don't know what the solution is, but I know it's not to beat people while they're already down.
Remember, I told y'all that I'm back in therapy, and I had a therapy appointment on yesterday. I wish I would have had that bad boy today because, yeah, anyway, I told y'all one of the things that I'm dealing with, what's bothering me most, well, not most, but what's bothering me is my lack of empathy and sympathy. I have no empathy. I feel no sympathy towards this woman. First of all, the unmitigated gall she has to place any type of blame onto the left for her not being able to deal with coming out of her fog, leaving this cult. These people have caused serious harm to not just people on the left, to people on the right as well. People within MAGA, even though they don't realize it. They have caused serious harm for over a decade. They've relished, they've taunted, they've been a menace to people on the left. They voted for this man 3 times to cause harm to other people. People have died, and she has the unmitigated gall to get in front of her camera phone with her tears to place a lot of the weight on the left because they are not welcoming her with open arms, because they are holding her
accountable. I agree with her. What do y'all think about her?
They are silent. Meanwhile, this is
Ooh, it's so much out here, huh?
Monique Samuels.
In light of the I'm not gonna lie to you. I got voters' remorse. If I knew what I know now, best believe I would have voted for Trump.
Now look, now you got white people saying they regret voting for Trump, and you still got black women talking about they should have voted for Trump. Ain't that some shit? Press 3 if that's some shit.
Someone that considers themselves very educated, I have been struggling with the fact that I've missed the mark. All because I was a political racist. What I knew, or what I felt that I knew, it was pretty much fathered down to me. Like I didn't have the brain to think for myself. And even as a person.
And she think when she's a Republican, she's going to have a brain to think for herself. I can't hear this shit.
All right, so I guess I was wrong about the Samsung S26 Ultra.
One artist we would never find on a playlist of yours. There's so many artists I have blocked on Spotify. And all of them are like abusers. You certainly wouldn't find like a Chris Brown song. Hi.
This is urgent. We just learned that Donald Trump is going to rapidly increase the amount of attacks against Iran over the next 24 hours. This is from CNN's Jim Sciutto. He says the U.S. is preparing for a, quote, major uptick in attacks on Iran over the next 24 hours, according to a senior U.S. official. The U.S. has assessed that the first round of attacks has achieved the goal of weakening Iranian defenses, and the next phase will heavily focus on destroying the country's missile production, unmanned aerial vehicles, and naval capability. Donald Trump also said earlier today that we haven't even started hitting them hard yet. The big wave is coming soon. This comes after the U.S. Embassy in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia was attacked earlier tonight by 2 Iranian drones. And thankfully, the ministry said that there was limited fire and minor material damage to the building. And so far, no injuries, which is great. Donald Trump just told News Nation that you'll, quote, find out soon what the retaliation will be in response to the embassy being attacked. But I imagine that retaliation is part of this massive uptick that's going to take place over the next day. So I will keep you updated on the insanity that's taking place around the world. But if you had any hope that the conflict was winding down, Donald Trump has another idea. This is urgent. We just learned that
So my girl came to me this morning and she said that she's planning on making red velvet.
This is another update on Adonis. He had a court date today, and the Romanians are absolutely tired.
Going on with this. First of all, let's try to.
How would you feel if you went to your friend's funeral and no one was there? Derek Jones passed away.
You know, I see a lot of Republicans online celebrating Donald Trump's war in Iran, and they're happy that it's going to continue for weeks, according to him. And yet none of them are signing up for the military. You know, you can go to the Army website and sign up and get deployed, right? Go do it. They're perfectly happy putting other Americans out there on the front lines, putting their lives in danger. 3 Americans have already died, but they sit from the comfort of their homes in the United States and type on their keyboards and say, yeah, war in Iran, let's keep going. Pathetic. Pathetic. These warmongers who voted for the peace president in a year completely flip and they're saying, yeah, let's keep going. Disgusting, man. You know,
and Lord, I hope you give me this level of delusion if I ever lose my husband. Now, after the news had broke that the U.S. had unalived the Ayatollah, of course, Candace Owens made it all about Charlie. Now, Candace had taken to social media and she says, we will never forget that they unalived Charlie for this war. Hold up.
Hold on, y'all. So Candace just said they killed Charlie Kirk for the Israel-Iran war. Press 5 if that's what she just said. Is this bitch cool? So she's saying they killed Charlie for this war. Charlie don't got shit to do with this damn war. Man, Candace Owens have lost it. Let's hear it.
Hold up. Okay, hold on. She goes on to say he knew they were going to do it. Who is they? He spent his final days mentally anguished, texting the very people who would ultimately betray him. She goes on to say, in honor of Charlie, I stand against Israel. Now, Candace, I have been reading your post since.
They said they're about to kill Candace in a minute, honey. Do you think they're going to kill Candace? Press 10 if they're going to take out Candace's ass. You know, if they have their way, they will. And I tell you, I might have to do a bankhead bounce, okay?
This man passed away. So I understand what a grieving widow looks like. But if you think, I mean, Candace Owens thinks that an entire world war, girl, let me start over. She believes that Charlie Kirk was unalive to enact a war on Iran. This is probably.
Didn't y'all blame transgenders for the shit? Press 1 if they blame transgenders for the shit. Y'all gotta pick up what y'all want. Okay? Damn.
Probably the craziest tweet I've read in a long time. And Lord,
the shit that's going on with Iran, Ishmael, because you can't say the other name on these social media apps, and the United States of America is far from over. Iran's supreme leader is dead, and they're saying that people are celebrating in the streets. What you got to think about is the people that's not celebrating.
The FBI is raising a nationwide alert after the joint U.S.-Israel strike. Should there be concern about attacks here in the U.S.?
Mind you, then Iran is posting timers. A timer for what? What do they plan on doing? Then you got to think about all the people that died in Iran. As of right now, 201 people, 750 injuries. You had American soldiers that lost their life. You have American soldiers that are injured.
Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more.
And this is all in 36 hours or more. What you also need to remember is that the planetary alignment happened. None of this is happening by coincidence. You have China, Russia, a whole bunch of other countries saying that America is wrong for what they did. And that in itself will make you want to think, where is this shit going next? Because it can go further. And the way it looks like President Trump is far from finished. And it also looks like Iran is far from finished. Think about the people they have in our country. Think about if those cells are alerted. And you know what cells I'm talking about. I need you to think about 9/11. I need you to think that anything and everything can happen at any time. The shit that's going on.
I'm so sick and tired of this whole situation that I actually needed to come out here and talk to you guys about this. I'm just speaking for my non-Iranian followers and for whoever is following me and they're not doing anything about this. This is disgusting. Let me get something straight. Religion is something personal. Yeah, we all agree on that. All of like the normal-headed people agree on that. Religion is something super, super, super personal. It's none of my business what's your religion. It's none of your business what's my religion.
That's
okay?
right. That's
Let me
right.
get that.
I
Totally
agree with
on
that.
Yeah, we are in the same boat. Imagine a government coming to your country. You're originally not that religion, and they're forcing that religion into you. You're growing up with all of the rules and regulation of that specific religion, which is not the actual religion, is the exaggerated version of it. And they're forcing you to believe it and follow it. And if you don't, you get killed. And if you speak up, you get killed.
That's not of God. Nah. That's what that Iran leader was doing.
And your parents get away and they kill your parents, they kill your kids, the economy, the money, everything is super fucked up, and people are fed up with this bullshit for so many years that they finally want to come out and do something about it. Every single time they kill people, they cut them off internet, they cut them off phone calls, they cut them off everything, so nobody can hear them. They trap them in the country and they start the shotgun. Just imagine that. Just imagine that happens in your country. What would you do about it? You'll talk about it. Imagine they forcing a religion you not believe. What are you going to do? The first reaction you're going to have, you're going to be like, I'm sick and tired of these religions you are pushing into my brain. And you're killing me and all of my families and all of my peoples and everybody's for this. I'm sick and tired of it. Even if it's good, I'm fucking sick and tired of it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to follow it. It's a fate. You got to believe it in your heart. And what are you guys doing is a genocide. And you're not going to believe that.
So it's so funny to me how they can kill in the name of religion, right? They can kill in the name of suppression. They can kill in the name of trying to maintain power in Iran. And the people are begging, but it fell on silent, deaf ears because we're so concerned about things that's completely irrelevant to what's happening in humanity. And we live for our own selfish reasons. If you're a liberal, a lot of times that's based around the idea that you don't like Trump, you don't like this administration, and you'd rather give all of our money and our taxpayers and our property over to illegal migrants coming into this country. And so anything and everything that could be aligned with Trump, you hate it, even if it comes to freeing the very ones that are advocating for peace and want a regime change and is suffering to the hands of somebody that's killing tens of thousands of people. They would align with that. And people actually support that. These tree huggers, these alphabet community members, these people that would not survive a day would probably be stoned in this very same place. A place that is threatening.
Well, hold on. I'm an alphabet community, whatever. But I'm glad that Iran dude is gone. I'm glad that them 49 people is gone. I don't think a religion should be forced. Whoever doing it, I'm glad they're gone. So not all alphabet people. Shit. Don't group us all in this shit together, nigga. Hell.
The United States of America, where they train their children to walk on American flags and say death to Americans, where they actually pillage and plunder and take women and look at them as
I'm so sick and
Donald Trump's White House doctor just commented on the new rash that was seen on the
3 service members have died in Iran.
I just got off the phone with President Trump.
Yesterday, President Trump said
your husband flew on Jeffrey Epstein's plane 17 to 26 times, correct?
He made several trips with different legs on the trip, as I recall.
But he flew on Jeffrey Epstein's plane 17 to 26 times.
Mm-hmm.
Were you aware that Secret Service was dropped on some of those flights?
That is not my understanding.
By this standard of behavior, multiple credible accusers, including Juanita Broad.
I think Donald Trump and his billionaire friends know that we're about to take back Texas. And these are the same people who ran against cancel culture. And now they're trying to control what we watch, what we say, what we read. And this is the most dangerous kind of cancel culture, the kind that comes from the top. They went after The View after I went on there. They went after Jimmy Kimmel for telling a joke they didn't like. They went after Stephen Colbert for telling the truth about Paramount's bribe to Donald Trump. Corporate media executives are selling out the First Amendment to curry favor with corrupt politicians. A threat to any of our First Amendment rights is.
Did not tell you that Trump and the megas about to take over Hollywood. Press 1 if I told y'all that. I told y'all that. And Paramount already bought the WB, and now they're merging with HBO. So y'all not gonna see no more black woke programming. Y'all not about to see no more LGBT shit on the TV either. All that shit is about to get canceled. Do you hear what I'm saying? Honey.
A threat to all of our First Amendment rights. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, whether you're conservative or progressive. The real fight in this country is not left versus right, it's top versus bottom.
All right, y'all, I'm finna give y'all a 24-hour update on what's going on with what y'all president is doing. So he was unalive.
Have you guys heard about what the CIA did when they were running human experiments to figure out how to mind control? No? Okay.
What's she talking
On
about?
March 8th, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 with... Do you recognize the name Vanessa Guillen? Because it...
James Tallarico.
Okay, so Trump.
We've been told that hell is a place that you can go after you die, used to scare us. But it's actually a state that you can live in when you forget who you are. Hell was never, ever a torture chamber created by God to make you submit. It came from 3 completely different words that got all blended together in the English language and give us the word that we call hell. The first word is Gehenna, and it comes from a valley that was outside of Jerusalem. It was a place where people...
Ooh, honey, she know what she talking about, because she talking about some shit I ain't never heard of before. Okay? I want to hear this.
Burned their trash and burned what no longer served them. Over time, that valley became a symbol of disgrace, destruction, and purification. So when Jesus spoke of Gehenna, he wasn't describing eternal torture chambers, flames of hell you go to after you leave this physical body. He was using a metaphor, the burning away of corruption, the cleansing of everything false, all lies, until what is pure and true remains within you. The book is always about within you. Don't think of it as flames that's meant to burn you. Think of it as something like fire that purifies gold, the fire of awakening, not punishment. It was never punishment. The second word is Hades, which in Greek simply means the unseen. It came from the Greek word Sheol, which meant the grave, the hidden realm. It wasn't a fiery pit. It's the shadow world, the place of unawareness, asleep, where the soul forgets who it is until the light bursts through the darkness. That's the real darkness, not knowing who you are. And you can live in that dimension, that frequency right now, thinking that you're cut off from divinity. The toiling, the striving, the reaching, the grasping, the literal welcome to hell on earth. You can live that right now. The third word used in the Bible, and it was only used once, is Tartarus, a Greek term that means the farthest remove from the upper heavens. Now, what's heaven? Heaven is the opposite of that dimension of hell, of thinking that you're separated. It is actually awakening and understanding that the kingdom of God is within you. It's the abundance realm of operating, the Christ consciousness. But it's being referred to, this version of the word hell is the deepest abyss of Hades, the unseen realm. Peter used that word as a picture, not a literal geographical lesson of a physical location. He was describing the lowest vibration of awareness, deep sleep, the furthest that a soul can drift from divine consciousness. It's the deepest illusion, the mental imprisonment.
Ooh, she's deep, right? Press 7 if y'all enjoyed that. Honey, I'm telling you.
We have some major news. Donald Trump just uploaded a new statement to social media saying the operation against Iran will continue and more Americans are likely to die, saying, quote, "It's just the way it is. Just watch."
Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen, and sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's...
Well, at least he telling y'all the truth. I mean, he is telling y'all the truth. I like that he's not sugarcoating it. I like that he's been blunt and honest. I like that he's not being emotional about it. I like that he's just telling y'all what the fuck it is. I don't mind.
A lot of your friends are taking part in Ramadan, and I realize not everyone knows.
In Iran, it's illegal to have a dog, but it's not illegal to marry a minor. Why? Well, because dogs are...
Hold on. So over there is full of pedophiles over there? Oh my God.
According to Islam, najis, which means impure. But apparently pedophiles aren't. The legal marriage age for girls is 13 years old, and for boys it's 15 years old. But the father can petition a court for permission to marry a child even below those ages. Now, it is not normal for you to see these types of marriages. I'm just making a point that the Islamic Republic of Iran, which is the regime that occupies Iran, is that messed up. In Iran, it's very normal for the regime forces to arrest peaceful protesters and then give you a death penalty on national TV to set an example. And what they charge you with is called muharebe, which means rage against God, which can mean whatever they want it to mean. Just yesterday, they took this 18-year-old boy called Shervin Bagherian and told him that he is guilty of muharebe, and this kid didn't even know what that means. He's like, "Sir, I don't know what that means. Can you tell me what it is?" And he's like, "It's the death penalty." And then this kid breaks down and starts pleading for his life. His crime? Protesting against their violence. I think most of you know that women in Iran are forced to wear hijab, but did you know that it's illegal for men to wear shorts, and if they do, they are arrested? Public displays of affection, dancing, having parties, singing for women, anything that brings you joy, illegal. In fact, since the Islamic regime took over Iran, most holidays are just mourning Islamic figures that died thousands of years ago. In Iran, married women need their husband's permission, and unmarried women need their father's permission to be able to travel and leave the country. Because according to Islamic regime teachers, women are basically property. In fact, there is a video of one of them giving a sermon and telling people there that God created this thing called a woman, and it's exactly like your donkey or your camel, you know, it's just an animal. He literally says it's an animal.
Listen, it's, you know what's so funny to me, regardless of where you stand on Iran and Israel and Trump and all of this stuff, is that no matter what, liberals are going to be against Trump. But they would never set foot in Iran because the culture of Iran is completely the opposite of what they stand for as liberals. They just hate Trump so much that they actually don't mind them living under this level of a dictatorship. They call it a theocracy, but it's a dictatorship that's taking place in that country. That is insane, right? She's describing this way in which they live, which obviously...
I don't know what conspiracy channel or commentator some of you are watching right now.
All right, y'all. Well, that's the end for this show tonight. Press 3 if you guys did like it. I know it's different than my normal, but I just wanted you guys to go on a journey with me, just traveling to learn about. Sometimes at night, I love to listen to the news. I like listening to the news, like what's going on with Iran and the war. I find it fascinating. It does not devastate me. I don't go into a deep depression when I listen to it. I'm just interested. You know, those are some of the things that I'm interested. I'm interested in that. And I don't even watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, I don't watch those reality shows that sometimes I comment on. I do it because it's so, you know, popular, and I think my base likes it. So that's why I do it. So I know it was different. So I just want to say thank you guys for hanging out with me, just going through it. And maybe we can do it again if you guys really like it. And if not, it's okay. I will continue to see what you guys like and what you guys want me to do, and I'll follow suit. All right. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next channel or the next live stream. Bye.